Shit, what's this podcast called?
Discourse of Human Events.
The discourse is just crazy.
Everything's okay, I'm just trying to act my age. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. I wanna look and feel years younger, baby. I wanna look.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Flashlight. All right. So I have a topic, but then because I don't know how long we're gonna stay on this topic. I then have some news and stuff we can go over. So the first topic I have, because we're watching It's Always Sunny, I was like, what would we do if we could write a It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode? Like the Discourse does It's Always Sunny. Because I feel like that's in the very same vein of the Discourse.
You know what I would have to do? Is the Discourse does Sunny does Lethal Weapon.
You would want to make another Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
And it would be a crossover episode where, with the one where they tried to do Dolph Lundgren, who can smell crime. Even though I think he
what?
He was in another movie a fake movie that they liked, right? Where he showed Dong.
Yes. Yeah, it's a fake movie.
Thunder Gun. It'd be somewhere if you get him to guest star and Frank, pays for it. For him to actually be in
Oh, he actually is in the thing? Because he was in the episode.
Yeah, they actually got him to be in the real show, right?
Yeah.
They got him to be in Thunder Gun Express BS.
Yes. But he wasn't in the their version of the show.
Yeah. And you know what the selling point is? Dolph Lundgren does blackface.
he does the blackface this time?
Yes.
That'd be pretty good.
That's my idea off the bat.
Yeah, I was thinking more of they always have the terrible things episode because they've done a lot of terrible things.
Terrible things episode.
I'm saying that's what they do.
Okay.
So I'm thinking
they're mostly just.
And you know what? There's been a lot of seasons, so maybe they've done something like this, but maybe the gang does terrorism. Not that they actually do terrorism, but they're taken as they do something terroristic on accident. Kind of like they're responsible for all the things in 2020. They kind of accidentally do some kind of terroristic event.
Well, how did they accidentally bomb?
That could be it, or they take over a plane or something. It's been 20 years. We could do a 9/11 thing. The gang does 9/11.
Okay, I'm trying to think how that would work. Because one, they can't die, right?
No, they parachute out.
They parachute out.
That's my off the rip idea I had. Did you have any other It's Always Sunny ideas? I got a feeling.
A bad one though.
I got a feeling they brainstormed
and then they
Okay.
It could be an empty building to make it somewhat
Yeah.
TV, and then they pilot it in and then jump out.
I could see them doing it. I got a feeling they've actually, because they got a brainstorm, right? They sit down in a writer's room and brainstorm.
Yeah.
The gang does 9/11. I guarantee you has come up.
Yeah, it's like Frank,
Or
says, I know how to fly a plane.
Yeah.
And he's in there, he's like, I don't know how to fly this thing.
He just learned takeoff, not landing.
Okay, any other ideas? Give me a minute.
I feel like they could revisit the Inventions episode. Like they come up with new inventions.
Oh, that one was funny.
Yeah, that seems like you could always come up with crazy.
I was trying to think of one,
inventions.
like the ones I like the best are like the gang tries to get on welfare, and then the gang tries to solve the oil crisis.
Yeah, they do like very political issues in their own way.
But just really dumb.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if there's one side, they're just really dumb.
Yeah. It's just literally they're outrageous about
it's
it.
just like how far can they, like, their assumptions about society are so bad and
Yeah.
stupid. But you can see a lot of really dumb people having the same assumptions and operating on
Oh,
them.
you know what? If it's the Discourse, does It's Always Sunny, we could have them. Didn't we come up with like businesses before? Because that's something they always do. They always have some kind of crazy business idea, right? They could do like, didn't we have like pimp your pet out or something as a business?
I would think like, okay, here it is. The gang tries to become a minority, just like they try to get.
Oh, that's a good one.
Especially Dee, because she always does the characters, right?
Yeah.
So she's gonna do a Rachel Dolezal or whatever and try to really be Puerto Rican.
That's a good one. What have they done? Like I feel like they've done like a gender fluid type episode, right? Where they all like change genders.
So.
Seems like they've mentioned it maybe, but not a whole episode about it.
They've all became black in an episode.
Maybe changing gender's too tame for It's Always Sunny. It's not crazy enough for the gang.
But yeah, you could have Mac he's already gay, so he doesn't need a new identity.
Oh, you know what? I guess they kind of do that in the newest season if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. I'm watching the very last episode now, where you find out he isn't really Dutch. That's where I just
Yeah. Because they're always talking about his identity. Like that would be a good one. What's like a major political issue right now that they could tackle? Oh, Jeff Epstein. They get Jeff Epstein or something. Like not.
They kind of already had that. Well, they had mentioned that Frank was involved, right? He had been to the island. So, but they.
Oh yeah, you're right. They did mention that, didn't they? You're right.
Frank tries to kill Ghislaine Maxwell.
I was thinking more like they actually do an episode where they're in the island, or they start to like maybe Frank starts to hang out with rich people and starts to realize they're kind of into that stuff. Like they know this young,
like the priest in this season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a gay man. That's right. Around the weed lads.
Yeah, that was a hilarious one.
Jesus.
All right. Well, that was the first topic idea I had.
Okay, that wasn't too bad.
Okay, well, next I want to move on to movies and TV.
Okay.
So, you said you had watched Norseman?
Yeah, that's a good show. So Norseman was like, so it's the Viking Age, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's a bunch of Vikings, but it's a comedy. It's on Netflix.
Oh, Nicole mentioned this to me. I haven't seen it, but she mentioned it to me.
It's pretty funny. It obviously you'd never see a comedy in this setting normally, right? And it's like, so you take the Vikings, but like make them as polite, because Sweden's supposed to be like a very polite, right?
Mm-hmm.
A very nice place.
Yeah.
With very strong rights and all that. So put their like morals back to the Viking Age. So they're all overly nice to each other.
Uh-huh.
But they're really Vikings. Okay. And they're all, I don't know. Like one of the very first episodes, so they're trying to take the old guys to jump off the cliff. Like, I guess they're supposed to do that when they're old so they aren't a burden to the place.
Is that a thing they did?
Like, oh, not for me. You know, I think I'll pass.
Yeah.
the slave that brought him was like, well, again, I just brought you here. I can't make you do anything you don't want to.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, she's mentioned it a few times.
So that's in the first bit. It has such a corporate vibe to it when they're trying to do it, is what I got. It was like, it's the Viking in a corporate setting.
That's actually pretty good. She just mentioned it, but she's basically just said it's like a Viking show except comedy.
Yeah, it's shockingly funny.
Yeah, because that didn't really.
Roman guys as a captured slave, and
yeah.
So he's trying to make it a cultural center. And it's shocking that how much of a plot they can actually get out of it.
I knew I'd eventually check it out with her anyway, so I'm sure I'll be watching that eventually.
Yeah. Well, that's about all I've had time to watch.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I watched a weird one called Good Time. And so it has Robert Pattinson in it. And he basically...
who? Let me make sure I know who that is. That's the werewolf or vampire guy?
Yeah, Twilight, dude.
What was that show? Twilight.
Yeah.
And he's the vampire?
Yes, he's the vampire. He's the vampire love interest.
I have to think. I think I know who that is.
Yeah, and he's the new Batman.
What were the names again? Because there were teams. Jacob, but he's not Jacob. He's the other one.
Shit. Team Jacob and... God, he was the more popular one.
Jacob. Yeah. Let's Google that.
I keep thinking an E name or something, but I don't know if that's right.
Team Jacob. So Jacob is... Okay, Team Edward.
Edward. Ah, I was right. It was an E name.
God, that thing, that's like a... I don't know. It was like a fad that died, everyone was constantly talking about stuff like that and mocking.
I mean, it lasted for a while, right? I think most people that were fans just got older and realized how silly it was. I think that's why it died. Right? Harry Potter didn't
last
end
nearly as long as the Marvel movies.
Or like Harry Potter. Harry Potter was always kind of like its rival, in a way.
I feel like Harry Potter went longer, and people today... I bet you people, 10-year-olds, 10 years from now will probably know who Harry Potter is.
Yeah, that's my point. It's because it's good.
15-year-olds, 10 years from now, they won't know Team Jacob and Team
that's what I mean.
Because it's kind of a shitty, they're throwing...
Yeah, it lasted the ages because it was good, whereas Twilight was literally a fad. Harry Potter's a way of life, dude.
I still haven't watched anything other than the very first movie.
No?
I always intended to, but yeah, I've only watched the first one. I always thought the first one was kind of sucky. Everyone tells me it's not the best one, so...
You didn't like the first one? I don't really remember it, but I mean, I guess I liked it a little bit.
I watched it when it first came out. I haven't seen it since, but I remember... But here's the thing. It also came around Lord of the Rings, and it was like, which one's better? Oh, it's definitely Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, well, that's kind of hard, though, to
not compare even a comparison.
To. Yeah, that's not a fair comparison there. You can't. It's not like you had to watch one or the other. It's not like you had to watch one or the other.
No, I just thought the other one, because the one thing that I thought was stupid was in the end he defeated something because of love or something. I thought that's a little hokey. That's a little stupid.
I don't know how it ends. I never watched the last movie because I kind of got the gist of it.
You mean the first one? The first one's the one.
Oh, the first one. Sorry.
The first one I didn't like.
I don't remember.
The ending of the first one, I remember thinking that's kind of dumb.
I don't remember him defeating something because of love.
Something like that. Because I remember thinking it's so dumb.
But you gotta think that was the very first book too, so it's like the least involved, and probably gonna be the most childish and hokey one.
Yeah. That's why is love such a powerful form of magic in Harry Potter? So it's something like that. I remember, it did seem more like for kids. It seemed like Lord of the Rings for kids, and at that point I was a teenager, so I was like, eh.
Yeah.
I'll watch it sometime, but...
I also watched... Oh, I didn't even get into it.
What did you say the game... Yeah,
Yeah.
wait. What was the
We
what
got-
was the thing you watched? We was
We got a
so
Harry
well,
Potter
we knocked
discussion.
around way too much.
Yeah.
Remember, it's knocking around.
It's good time. So it's Robert
Good time. What's good time?
So Robert Pattinson has a.
That's all we got.
Yeah, that's how far we got into this. That he was in the movie.
Yes.
So he's
Okay.
he's I guess just like a low life criminal, but he has a brother who's kind of slow,
Uh-huh.
and he robs a bank with the slow brother.
Uh-huh.
And it's basically about like the
Okay.
journey of that all falling apart because the slow brother gets caught like as they're trying. It goes bad, right? So it's all
Right.
the aftermath, like right after the bank heist. It's one of those movies where it's kind of filmed in like a, kind of like a low budget camera look, and it's almost like sequence of events happening one after another. It's not like 2 days later or anything. It's like this is basically this night, everything happening.
I see.
But
Gotcha.
it was pretty good.
Sounds
It was
interesting enough.
definitely like Robert Pattinson doing a different role to like try and get away from that Twilight stuff.
It sounds good. Like I was like, if it sounds like a plot I've never heard of before, superhero saves the world. I've seen a million times. That sounds like something I hadn't heard at least, or it's just a bank robbery.
Yeah.
And there's guys.
I mean, it's kind of the same. Bank robbery goes wrong, but it's,
Yeah.
it has its little hooks
Twist
and
to it.
different twists. But you're going to notice a theme here with my
But
movies.
this is why I like Norsemen. Could you ever find anything else like Vikings comedy?
No, that's pretty good. That's pretty unique.
What else is like that? Nothing. Yeah.
I also recently watched Hell and High Water, which is like
Oh, in high water. Okay.
yeah, a very interesting take on bank robberies as well, where this guy and his brother are robbing banks, and they're doing it
Okay, so
to
there's a theme here. They're brothers robbing banks.
Uh-huh.
You want to rob a bank?
yeah. This is what I'm getting at. Hey, you know what? I just realized the other movie has brothers robbing banks. I thought robbing banks was the theme. It turns out brothers robbing banks is also. I didn't even realize that. But the Hell and High Water
go
one,
on.
I think they're brothers in it. Yeah. So they have a farm, and the bank, their like mother took out some kind of like predatory loan with the bank, and basically, if they don't pay back the loan, they're going to foreclose and take the farm, right? Mm-hmm. So it has kind of like a feel of like it's kind of like they're saying it's okay that they're robbing the bank. Like this is kind of the storyline is they're trying to show like the banks have been robbing America this whole time. So it kind of has like a very low level, I don't want to say preach, but like a life lesson of like maybe we shouldn't care about these people robbing banks because the banks have like been screwing these people over this whole time, and so that the idea that they're robbing the banks back isn't that really bad. But it has
I feel like that's the undercurrent of every bank robbery movie, or at least definitely in the Wild West.
But this one's very well done. And it has what's his name? Jeff Bridges is in it. He's one of the police officers hunting him down.
Mind I break here, get more alcohol, and go talk to Chloe?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna give a big clap,
right.
Okay? To edit. All right, I'll be back in like 2 minutes. All right.
So, yes, Hell and High Water, very good watch. And just because I was in the bank robbery mood lately, because I watched those, I rewatched The Town.
Okay.
Which is actually really good.
I vaguely remember
Which
it.
is basically, yeah, that's what I was like. I kind of only remember that they robbed Fenway Park, and that's all I remember. Yeah, I think it's Fenway. Is that the Boston one?
Yeah, probably. You know what I really remembered about it?
What?
Everyone said the most unrealistic thing about that was there was like no traffic in Boston at like rush hour.
yeah,
Like,
that
that's
actually makes
ridiculous.
sense.
That dude would just be stuck in traffic during the getaway.
Yeah. Well, rewatching it, it was a really good movie, but I forgot to mention with Hell and High Water, the thing I liked most about it is that it felt like it had the most realistic depictions of what a robbery would be like.
I don't know. Did it beat what was that movie? Heat, the Michael Mann one. That one looked. I thought was like, yeah, that's about right. If you were like a really professional and we're gonna do that, that's about right.
No, I mean like realistic in how they'd actually go today.
Okay.
Like
you don't get much.
Because Nicole works in bank, so she always has like criticisms of bank robbery movies, and she was watching that one with me, and she even said like that's probably the most realistic like depiction of how like banks actually operate and how they do things.
I assume you don't get that much money. They don't need that much on hand.
Yeah, that's one of the things that they depicted was like they didn't like rob a bank and have like anything more than like $3,000 to $5,000.
Exactly. Like, why would they have that much? They'd probably have more than $5,000, I'd assume. Like, maybe a teller would have $5,000.
No, they don't.
$5,000?
No, that's what I'm saying. They really don't. Yeah,
they
don't have that much money
very quickly if enough people come because they don't want to, not have it.
No, you have to order ahead of time if you need a large deposit.
What happens if somebody comes up and they don't have their money? They just tell them to wait.
Yeah, basically. You have to tell them ahead of time if you want to make a large or withdrawal. I said deposit, a large withdrawal. Like most banks don't have like tons of money on hand.
Because it's all virtual.
Like
why do?
If you got exactly. If you got like the safe and all the tellers and every little drop, maybe it's like $10,000.
Okay, here's a new movie that I think should be done. Okay? And
what?
Honestly, not just a movie. This is a business enterprise, a criminal business enterprise.
Oh, okay. What is it?
You know there are Bitcoin millionaires, right?
Uh-huh.
And some of them brag about it.
Yes, I see where you're going with this.
Probably keep their Bitcoin. Like, some of them probably sell a lot for cash, but some probably, they're believers, so they keep it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just hunt down the people that brag on social media and then, like, torture them until they
Rob,
give you their keys.
That's the... You know what? I'm surprised that hasn't been made. That's actually a really good idea of a movie.
Yeah.
Or being a criminal enterprise.
Or that has actually happened.
Yeah, it could have.
And then, like,
that's true.
Find people that are just lying about their millions, because I'm sure there are tons of them.
Yeah. They also wouldn't get... Like, it'd be harder to catch somebody on that, right? Because if you just transfer it to a Bitcoin wallet, then you transfer that to another Bitcoin wallet.
It's not like a real bank. It's just a guy with a number.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? That's all it really is. It's a guy with just a random signature, a random hash code.
That might be the best heist idea for a movie, too. Like, just scouting people in tech that are into Bitcoin. The thing is, you have to know somebody who has that. Like you said,
but I feel
bragging on social media, or got it from that.
Well, I'm getting to this because I'm pretty sure I remember on Tosh.0 they had, and this was years ago, they had a guy on there that was like, 17, talking about how he had, millions of dollars made, and, he's obviously, he didn't have anything else going for him other than he invested in Bitcoin early.
Yeah, that would be a good one. That would actually be an interesting movie.
Yeah.
But how does it go wrong, Nick?
No, I don't know. That now you got to have the other part of
you can't have.
Like I said, like they probably kidnapped somebody and he's just a faker. Like he's just like. Yeah, do you remember years ago on YouTube? That
would be the twist, right?
Yeah. Do you remember years ago on YouTube where you could not avoid this ad where it was this guy with a Lamborghini trying to sell you his get rich quick scheme?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then on Reddit, I think somebody investigated it. He rented it, he drove it up to a mansion that he didn't own, and it was all completely fake. Like, he was just trying to sell his get-rich-quick scheme. That was the way to get rich, right?
Yep.
Like, that's it. He's just the faker, the guy that, they kidnap. And then maybe they become friends or something during the whole thing.
Yeah, he's the one that says, like, something like, what's better than money? Knowledge. He's the meme that's that guy. Knowledge. But I think he did get rich off of that. If he wasn't already somewhat well off, he definitely got more well off. Yeah, that was like his thing he said in the garage.
He made it famous because I could tell you who that guy is. Like, at that time, you could not avoid seeing that dude.
I know exactly what you're talking about. He must... See, that's what I'm saying. He probably was already slightly rich from probably scheming.
Let that. Google this now. YouTube... I think it was a Lamborghini, right? Lamborghini guy.
Say YouTube Lamborghini knowledge guy.
Lamborghini knowledge.
I just remember him saying knowledge.
Here in my garage. That's the Know Your Meme.
Here in my garage.
2015. So, hey, this could be our 2015 review. See, sometimes I think the wiki things, they miss a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they miss, like, the culture of the time. Right? Yeah. Like, cultural movements or anything of that sort. What was his name? Is he...
Ty Lopez.
Ty Lopez, that's it. Is he still, like, around today, or did he get arrested for scheming?
The Know Your Meme doesn't have much info. Ty Lopez...
Wikipedia, Ty Lopez. Oh, so he's still around.
I don't think he has a Wikipedia. He has a Twitter. Let's see, Wikipedia.
There's no way he doesn't have a Wikipedia.
He has a Wikitia, whatever the hell that is.
What the fuck is that?
He's a college dropout.
Uh-huh. That's weird that he doesn't have a Wikipedia.
Said the following mentions his luxury car with a bookcase, controversies. Received criticism as a conman and a scam artist.
Why does he have a Wikipedia, whatever that is, and not Wikipedia? What is Wikipedia?
It's not that interesting. Yeah, there's not that much in here.
Yeah, but what the hell is Wikipedia? It looks like Wikipedia just for like a different...
An encyclopedia by verified editors, so not any random person, apparently.
Oh, I mean, Wikipedia is kind of like that too now, right?
Technically, anybody can edit it, but there's like people with like points, you know, like Reddit. If you have karma, like there are people like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like anybody can't just edit it. Like you can't go on Abraham Lincoln and say like he was a douchebag or something.
You can, but somebody like there's some important person that's actually basically the owner, and he'll like cut you out.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't just go on to, like, you, right now, can't go on to Abraham Lincoln's profile and add something.
It might, because very big
can you? I thought you had...
But I can go on, what's the president before him?
That's what I'm saying.
What's the president before Lincoln? Was it,
fucking no.
Look up. Abraham Lincoln.
15th.
Andrew Johnson. Or James Buchanan was before. Let's go to him.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to edit. Where do I click edit?
Edit and say he had big balls.
Oh, semi-protected. Give me another more obscure person. I'll take his vice president, okay? His vice president was... the vice president of the United States. He did not have a vice president, apparently, but preceded by...
What the hell, he didn't?
Here's Hannibal Hamlin, who was vice president before he was vice president. It's not protected. Now, how do I edit? Edit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then what do we want to put on?
He has big balls.
Hamlin.
He was known for... Hamlin was nicknamed Hammy Big Balls because he had such giant balls.
He was nicknamed Hammy Hamballs. Okay, there we go. Hammy Hamballs. Just edited it.
Did it work?
I gotta save it, I think. He was nicknamed Hammy Hamballs. Okay.
Did we just drop some knowledge? Okay, I'm gonna go look at it on my wiki.
No, I haven't yet. Headed.
What's the name of this guy?
Hannibal Hamlin. Information. See, somebody might have to review it, but
that's what I'm saying. You can't just go and write whatever.
What I see, it says he was named Hammy Hamball.
Where'd you add it?
Okay, Hannibal Hamlin. Google Hannibal. Do you know how to spell Hannibal?
I have it on Wikipedia. His article.
Okay, refresh it. It's the second line.
Okay. No, the last two lines are: he was Republican office. He's considered among the most influential
the first
politicians from Maine.
The first two lines. Was an American attorney and politician from Maine.
This article needs verification. Please improve this article.
Okay, refresh it.
Yeah, I've already done that. It's not going to add it
real quick.
I'm telling you, you can't just go and add whatever the fuck you want anymore. You have to have
probably has to verify it.
Yeah, and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?"
Of course, he's Hannibal.
They're gonna be like, "Deny." They're gonna be like, "Why are people?"
Hannibal. And I'm checking on another computer I have just to make sure.
Technically, Nick, we can add,
Hamlin.
According to the Discourse of Human Events, he is known as Hannibal Hammy Handballs, and then reference their own podcast.
Hannibal Hamlin. Nah,
that's verifiable.
You're right.
Told ya.
You know, there was a time you could, because I actually updated one, like forever ago.
Yeah, you could, but it's changed. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they have they're basically their editors that are like known for that. You can add stuff, but they always have editors that can be like, obviously this is completely false.
But it's well cited.
But now, Nick, I say next time we do the Wikipedia, we log on and actually add our fact that according to the Discourse, he was called this, and reference our own podcast.
Yeah, this is a message.
And put it in like the other section.
Recent edits to Hannibal have been undone by an automatic computer called ClueBot NG. So there's an AI that basically makes sure that you're not, if you're completely full of shit.
I wonder how that works, though.
By the way, completely somewhat related. Did you see Elon Musk tweeted out a picture of a Wikipedia? Someone probably edited it and it wasn't real, but like it was a Wikipedia of grape, and the only sentence was "Everybody knows what grape is."
I did see that.
Like, obviously,
like that was useful knowledge. All right. Well, what even got us on Wikipedia? I don't remember how we got here. We knocked around there. Hammy handballs. I'll forever know the vice president. Wait, who was he? The vice president?
Hamlin was the vice president that preceded Andrew Johnson as vice president. Not as president.
But vice president.
Andrew Johnson was apparently vice president.
Okay. So fucking dumb. Such a random fact to have now. Alright, well, the other thing I had is This Week in News. So news stories that we missed during the week or past week when we weren't podcasting. So we have two big ones, two celebrity deaths.
We
had Betty White and Bob Saget.
Betty White, like, I know she's famous and she was kind of fun in the little things I saw her, but didn't hit me as hard as Bob Saget. I mean, we watched that Full House all the time when we were kids.
Yeah, Bob Saget, he was a great comedian too, and he definitely, like, America's Funniest Home Videos was pretty huge. Yeah. It was kind of like the internet before the internet.
Kind of like, and then I read, like, people all over the world actually know him, not from Full House, but from that, because that's something that's not like, you don't need translated, right? So you could sell it, like, people in Saudi Arabia knew America's Funniest Home Videos and loved it. So
because it's just funny videos.
Warning Bob Saget. Like, things you don't really think of is, like, he's worldwide famous.
Yeah, I did not think about that. That's actually kind of amazing. He's kind of it's kind of like the OG TikTok.
Yeah. And I explained him.
And now you have lots of shows that...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was saying you have a lot of shows that copy that format nowadays.
Yeah.
But anyways, you're saying to Chloe he was what?
I was trying to explain who he was to Chloe, and it was like basically BoJack Horseman. Like that was who he was kind of based off of somewhat, right? Because he was basically back in the 90s. That TV show he was in, it was basically Full House, and he was basically Bob Saget in that show.
Very true.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's actually a good point. I didn't really think of that.
He was like a single father with 3 kids, right? That was the plot line of Full House.
Yeah, I didn't really.
And he was
you're saying
nice guy in the show, but he was actually
BoJack Horseman show. Yeah. In the show, BoJack Horseman was based on Full House. That makes more sense now.
Yes.
I thought you were saying BoJack Horseman, the character.
No, I mean I don't think there was that close.
Was based on
the TV show he was in was basically Full House.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, I don't. Same thing, like Betty White. Yeah, she was kind of cool, and she literally died like a week before the end of December.
Yeah, and she was basically dead already 31st. For the last few years, right? She was 99.
Yeah, she was like basically 1 week away from being 100.
That's crazy. 1920,
yeah.
So she would have born in like basically 1921. So she literally remembers World War II.
Yeah, like that would have been like what? She would be how old?
Like 20.
She was born what year? 1920.
Yeah, so she'd been like 25 by the time it ended.
Yeah, she'd be in her prime. Like that'd be a main memory she has.
Yeah.
That would be like 9/11 for us, right? Like
way bigger.
We were actually younger for that.
Way bigger. Cause like
no, I'm saying like that's similar. Like you'll never forget that kind of historical event.
Yeah. I think.
And like all the things that happened afterwards, like it changed our culture. Just like World War II changed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine that, but then again, if we live to be that old, we're going to think like back to 9/11 and COVID and all these like weird things that happened.
Yeah,
like these major political and world events.
Once I live like to 80, maybe even 100, let's say.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just going to be so odd, you know? Like, I can't even say retard anymore now. Like, I feel like in another 10 years, if they hear me saying it, I'm going to get locked up. But it was something crazy. Very casually in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, you'll be like in your 80s and call somebody her or ma'am. And they're like, whoa, fucking crazy old man over here with the ma'ams and the sirs.
Oh, I was thinking of another thing was, I don't know why I was thinking of this today, but calling somebody a crackhead.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if a teenager today heard crackhead, will they know what we're talking about? Because, like, that was the thing in the 80s and 90s is doing a lot of crack.
Yeah, it was very culturally relevant.
Hated? What's that?
Yeah, it was very culturally relevant at the time.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they'll know, but I guarantee you in another 20 years, if you go, oh, what are you, a crackhead or something? They'll be like, what? I got a crack in my head? Like, no, I don't have a crack in my head. No, like you smoke crack and you're being retarded.
Like, they're like, oh my god, you should retarded. What, should we just see if we can call Ashley a crackhead and see if she understands?
I don't want to try.
Yeah, I don't...
I want to know.
I'm going to go to my local school and call kids crackheads.
Yeah, just go. I'm going to go to college and just say things that
would
make
crackhead?
Perfect sense in my high school, but I think might not anymore.
Yeah, there's got to be plenty of words like that. Crackhead is a good example.
Yeah, what's another one? Crackhead, and then you could reference Team Jacob. Hey, which one are you on? Team Jacob or Team Edward? To all the high school girls, and be like, what are you talking about? That's actually past my time, though.
They would not understand what we mean when we say, wow, that's gay.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even say that anymore, but that they would think what we're saying is different connotation.
Yeah, like that's fine. The thing I don't think a lot of people nowadays would understand is gay didn't mean gay. Exactly.
No.
It's just the opposite of cool. If it's not cool, it's the opposite of cool is gay.
Yeah.
I don't even know gay meant like that until I was like a teenager.
Yeah, it was because South Park just used it in that terminology. I feel like I don't know if South Park created that or if they
that was way
got
before.
that from the current culture.
Way before
right?
South Park.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
I don't remember in elementary school. Like I said, I didn't know that that's what gay meant. I just knew it was the opposite of cool.
Yeah. Very true. All right, well, that was the first news story. Somehow Betty White and Bob Saget got us to that's gay. The James Webb satellite got launched into space. Did you follow that at all?
I just knew about it. That's it.
Yeah. So apparently it's 100 times more powerful than the Hubble.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going like way further out to where it's not in orbit, and it'll be kind of like stationary, and they can kind of orient it to wherever they want. So with like the Hubble, they have to like wait till it orbits where they want to and point it at things.
Mm-hmm.
And so they only have limited time of how long they can point it at certain areas.
Gotcha.
And one of their goals with this is to try to find alien life. Because it's so much more powerful, they might be able to prove some kind of life forms on other planets. Because they might actually be able to look at planets.
Hmm. Have they actually turned it on and looked yet?
I don't know, actually. That's a good question. You should look that up.
I'll just assume they haven't. Because I just hope...
I don't think they have, because I think they're waiting until it gets to the... that, like, whatever zone they're taking it to, which basically has, like, this perfect zone where it can kind of float in space. Or in, like, stillness.
Is there, like, they flip it on, first thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it happens to land on an alien that has some sort of, like, sixth sense about when somebody's looking at him, and he's taking a shower, and he goes, beep, and then pulls up the towel. That's just what
I thought you were going to say, like, he's mooning it or something on purpose.
That would be good, too.
In the same vein, they discovered a potato-shaped planet.
Potato-shaped planet. Okay.
Yeah, important. I feel like that's very important that we know that there's a potato planet out there. Seems like, very Rick and Morty-esque.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention Rick and Morty. I feel like it follows Rick and Morty rules because they're like trillions of planets, right?
Yeah.
So there's like a planet that's shaped like everything, right?
So there's a fleshlight planet, you're saying?
Yeah, there's a dick planet out there somewhere.
Yeah, there's got to be a phallic planet, though. That's actually not that far-fetched.
I don't think so. And then, with the sheer number, there's got to be a vagina-shaped planet nearby, a dick-shaped planet.
And we will bring them together. Hero's journey. Alright, so these are more obscure, random stories that I found that I think are just hilarious. So an LAPD officer was fired for playing Pokemon Go instead of responding to a robbery.
LA?
I think it was LAPD, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. That's
I took
basically
quick notes.
Because they have a really bad reputation, right?
Oh, do they? I don't know. I mean, I guess kind of.
Rush Hour, he's like, I don't tell my mom I'm an LAPD officer. I tell them I deal drugs. Like, because they're supposed to be really bad, like very corrupt, like
a corrupt system, kind of like New York.
Yeah, if a celebrity needs you to look the other way, they do, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, of why they would become corrupt. A lot of money in the town.
Right.
Same thing with New York. A lot of rich people and money. But I just, how did they discover that though?
That he was playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
Maybe it was with a
like
company
did they?
known.
Oh, you're probably right. They tracked it.
It's so funny though.
Fucking
Hold on,
bro,
let
there
me
was a
check.
Charizard. I
Catch
had to
this,
get
yeah,
it.
Charizard. Then I'll respond. I say if I was a
I
cop,
like
it'd
that.
be like. I know, like, okay, there's the whole George Floyd thing, but the other thing about them, like, arresting a cop is, like, if you're a cop, I mean,
Yeah,
you're worried that if you do something, you're gonna get, arrested yourself, or you're gonna somehow get in trouble. So the rational thing is to not do anything. To try to do as little as, and that's the same way in work, really.
yeah. I think
Like,
that's what I was about to
minimize your
say. Is
risk.
that's just work?
Yeah, just
Anytime you're
minimize your
working,
risk.
like, do I
So,
really want to respond to a robbery where something bad could happen,
yeah. I
or
mean, not only
catch
could
this Pokemon?
you accidentally shoot somebody that didn't need to be shot and you go to prison, I mean, you could get shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Just go catch Pokemon and get paid. It's way better that way.
I feel like LAPD's the wrong city to be in if you want to just catch Pokemon, though. Go to like a neighboring county.
Yeah. Go to like what's the Andy Griffith? That was the TV show, right? Where they're all
Yeah.
1950s.
Yeah, what was there's the name of that town that's really famous, right?
Yeah,
What's the name of that town?
I'm gonna Google it. Andy Griffith Town. I think that's his name, right?
Because it's kind of like the standard name of
Mayberry.
like
Mayberry.
Mayberry. Yeah, it's like
Carolina
the
town.
standard.
North Carolina town.
Yeah. But I thought that was pretty hilarious. Now here's another one that's really interesting. Maybe you want
all goddamn day. It wouldn't matter.
But the thing is, if he was around today, he would be one of those people that would refuse to be on a phone.
Yeah.
He'd be like, these kids these days always on their phones and their games. Now, so the next one's interesting in the fact that we might want to read details of this, because I just saw the headline, obviously, as you do. Mm-hmm. But the headline is, Mother Shoots Child Twice on Accident While Cleaning Gun. Now, the key point there is the twice.
Uh-huh.
I'm curious of how it happened twice.
What Reddit was this from?
This was on our news, I think, the top.
I don't know. I've seen some on Reddit, and if you go down in the comment section, there are people that go, "This isn't real. This is what really happened. This is photoshopped."
No,
I've learned that a lot on Reddit.
Here it's on Yahoo News too.
Far. What's that?
No, it's on Yahoo News.
Okay.
The shooting took place Friday, so last Friday, around 3 p.m. Mother initially told officers someone opened fire outside the apartment after trying to snatch her purse and hit the child twice.
Okay.
The victim, the child's status is unknown at this point, but he was in ICU, so he actually didn't just die. Says the mother then admitted to it.
You think she just plain admitted to it? No compelling? What I really want to know is, if a kid was randomly shot, right? And it was the mother that did it. And then she lied. Are cops really checking that story?
I think so, because
or did the kid
one,
say,
she had a gun, right?
No, mom fucking shot me.
2, you can track bullets from what gun it came from, and suddenly it came from the gun she had.
She owned.
And it was probably recently cleaned, so it made sense.
No, Zach. Here's where it goes wrong. See, the cops, okay, they go, "Oh, okay, that's what happened, and you look like a good mom. Okay, we'll just assume that's true, because I want to play Pokemon Go, then investigate this bullshit." Right? Why investigate? A lot of times I just go, "Oh, okay, that's what happened, okay."
Well, yeah, but I think with this one, it was so obviously not what happened.
It's too bad
you know what I mean?
Happened in LA, because the cop that showed up would be like, "Oh, that's too bad. Hey, I think there's a a Charizard in your backyard. Do you mind if I go back?
Because you shoot the kid and you have to call 911 right away, right? So you still have like, if you're cleaning your gun, you have like your whole little thing out to clean it. Like you don't just
put it away.
I don't know if you think that quickly when you're like calling 911 because you just fucking shot your kid twice.
Put it right in the fridge. I don't
know. Flush it like drugs. You try and flush the firearm down the toilet. Why won't it flush?
I don't think it's that unusual to shoot twice because, like, if it's some triggers are very easy to just hit twice.
Do you want more cake? Yeah.
I guess.
What's that?
All right. And I was gonna say in our last one we have
last story.
The oldest tortoise in the world, Jonathan, turned 190. So we thought Betty White was old.
That's a lot. But, what's it mean to be a 200-year-old tortoise?
Why do they live to be so old? Are they just like their hearts beat so slow or something? Like, why does heart beating slowly mean you live so much longer?
Oh, I remember this being explained to me. Was like every animal basically has so many heartbeats. Like there's a set number of heartbeats. Like
it can only beat so many times.
1 billion, roughly. So like a...
Really? Does that include humans?
Yeah, so like a... What are those hummingbirds? They go so fast. So they die pretty quickly.
So they have a short...
mice. And all that. Like, so...
Do like insects have really small hearts or something that like beat super fast then? Is that why they don't...
They have hearts, right? How fast does an ant's heart beat? 53.5 beats per minute. So that's less than ours. So maybe what I read was bullshit.
Wow, that's actually kind of interesting that they beat like less than us. I would think because they're so small it'd beat like so much crazy, but I guess
maybe that was just for mammals or something.
Well, what is the lifespan of a ant though? I don't know.
Wait. Turtle heartbeat. How fast turtle heart beats? How fast does a turtle's heart beat? 25.
Good God, that is super slow.
Huh.
So, if we only have so many heartbeats, so anytime you do something that increases your heartbeat, are you technically lowering your life?
Yeah, I mean,
like all the coffee we drink?
In some sense, it's like any machine, right?
Yeah.
Like, the more you use it, the more it's going to deteriorate.
Very interesting.
Right? So if anything you use, it's entropy, right?
Well, why can't, like, crabs then, like, live forever, basically, if they don't ever, like, have any kind of...
I don't think they realistically live forever. They just don't have something that definitely makes us die. Eventually, they're going to get cancer.
No, they don't. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. How...
It's crabs or something can, like, theoretically live forever. It's just they usually die from, like, a predator or something.
I think eventually they'll get sick or they'll do something.
No, I'm telling you, man. They have some kind of thing that regenerates. They have, like, perfect regeneration.
No, you're talking about lobsters, apparently. And don't listen to the buzz. Lobsters are actually immortal.
Okay.
And then,
why are we wrong?
Remember the movie The Lobster? That's why he wants to be one, I think.
Because they live forever?
Until the end, and they're not immortal.
What makes them not immortal?
15% of lobsters die naturally each year.
So how long do they live then?
I don't know.
Wait, did you say 10 to 15 total?
So males live an average of 31 years and a female average of 54 years.
Yeah, we can't go off of average though because they're fish. That's what I mean. Like,
well,
how long can they possibly live?
Okay, Zach. If 10.
Also, how do you know if a lobster is killed by natural causes?
I don't.
We're doing
He is a
lobster
lead
autopsies.
lobster biologist, Zach. A lead lobster biologist, Carl Wilson. 10 to 15% die naturally. So, I mean, if you take 100 years, they're all going to die. Like, odds are. Right?
Fair enough.
And naturally.
Are you sure it's lobsters I'm talking about?
I googled crabs live forever, and all I got were lobsters, so it seems like that.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try this myself here. How long do crabs?
Move on.
Well, hey, crabs live up to 70 years, so
70
clearly
years
they're already
That's not even
more.
a turtle age.
I'm just saying that's even longer than a lobster. So where did this little theory even come from?
No idea. I think it's just like they don't get cancer or something.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that was the last interesting news of the week. Was the old ass tortoise named Jonathan?
All right. Did you have something else? We're only 57 minutes, and I took a break. What do we got?
Those are the last. Oh, did we ever go over Ghislaine Maxwell getting convicted?
No, I don't know what I had to say about that though.
No, I'm just saying it's a news story. It's a news story. I'm curious if she'll start releasing names.
I don't know, or if she gets suicided.
Right? Like, I'm very interested in that.
Stuff moves so slowly. Oh, and the Theranos girl also got convicted, right? You know who she is, right?
The who?
Theranos?
No.
Come on,
Nope.
I've definitely mentioned that before.
Maybe, but I don't
She
remember.
was girl Steve Jobs. Still not ringing a bell?
She's what, Steve Jobs?
Girl. Female Steve Jobs.
Oh, yes.
Like, she wore the turtleneck
Yeah, okay, I know
and
who
all
you're
that
talking
stuff,
about.
but she was
Yep.
just a fraud the entire time. She
Yeah,
was selling
yeah.
a blood test.
She was
that
Ty
would,
Lopezing it.
Yeah, just a little prick. And they could diagnose things that usually take a whole blood draw. But
Yeah.
it didn't actually work. They just gave you fake results. The whole time they were just giving you bullshit results.
Yeah, you told me. That's fucked up.
She got convicted recently of so many counts. I don't know.
Oh, what is that, like, forgery, false advertising? There's so many charges.
I'm too bored. Because the more important thing is obviously she's a sociopath, right? This lady.
Yeah, cool.
What would a sociopath do in this situation?
In what situation?
In the situation that she's going to be convicted and sent to prison. Remember, it's a woman. If you're a woman, put yourself in her situation.
Uh-huh.
You're quite certain you're going to get sent to prison. What should you do if you're a woman?
Get pregnant?
That's exactly what she did. She got
Wow, she's playing all the cards, huh?
real quick. Yep. Like right close to her sentencing, baby came out and she's like, "Well, you can't send me to real prison because I got this thing to take care of."
I mean, it's kind of smart.
I know.
Who do you find though for that?
Baby. Like,
who's down for that though?
oh, it was some guy. I don't know. I mean, she's not bad looking, to be honest.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to.
She could always find a guy.
Yeah, true. And they think she has money, maybe.
She probably doesn't anymore. She was at one point supposedly a billionaire. I feel like, okay, when we had our kids, right? They give little tags about like their name and then their weight and everything, and they put it on the bassinet when they put the kids there, right, in the bassinet.
Yeah.
Right? So what I think, at that hospital, they should go into the Monopoly deck, and they should get the get out of jail free card. Staple that right on that fucking bassinet. Because that's what that is.
She didn't really get out of jail. She just delayed real jail.
No. I think she basically gets a Well, they haven't done the sentencing yet, but they think that she's going to get a what is it, home prison sentence? What do they call that again?
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah, she's just going to be at her own house. House arrest. That's what they call it, right? 'Cause she has a baby
This is
to
a
take
move.
care of.
This is a move guys cannot pull for prison.
Yeah. Man, I
We
would
wanna
wanna
talk
go
about
to
some-
prison if I had to go to prison, but they're just going to be like, sorry, you got to go to prison anyways. She
They're
can take
like,
care of it.
go fuck yourself. You're going to prison.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm shocked it's not just like giving up, but I guess like especially with that level of crime and sociopathy, like this is not a good person. We probably don't need her raising a kid, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, I don't know, did she really want a child?
I don't think she did.
Yeah, it's just, congratulations, you exist to get me out of jail. I'm giving you away as soon as I can.
Well, let's be honest. How many kids do exist that the parents didn't want or plan?
At this point, it can't be that many, right? Because it's so easy to not plan them. To plan to never have them.
Dude, I think you really underestimate the population.
Maybe. You're probably right, because there are some really dumb people out there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's still accidents that do happen. But
Like, at
in
least
general,
one
I
party
think a
knows
lot.
most of the time, though. One party wanted it.
Yeah. And to be fair, she wanted the kid, but just not really. At least it was
Not
planned.
really.
But at least it was planned. Huh?
Yeah.
You
it
say
was planned, it was planned.
she did 50% more than some people do with their kids. Do you think somebody of that stature, though, when you have billions of dollars, you have to be able to hide enough money away, right? Like you have
she had
to, right?
billions of stock in a private corporation. It hadn't gone public, I don't think. So it's hard to sell those. People were talking about maybe this company will buy it for $50 billion.
And since it never sold because it became clear that it was BS, she never actually got rich.
Yeah, but she also had like Henry Kissinger. You know who he is, right?
No.
You don't know who Henry Kissinger is?
Not from that name. It sounds familiar, though.
He's like Secretary of State, I believe, under Kennedy. He's like
okay, yeah. That's what I was...
He's very
Yeah,
old.
it was
He's
the
nearly
past Kissinger.
Yeah, he's
I thought you were talking about a current person.
No, he's like Betty White's age.
Yeah.
He was one of the...
What about
he's
him?
on the board of directors, along with a lot of other people that are famous in
that's
government.
awkward.
Yeah. Like, you'd think they would have known.
Yeah, like, at what point do you not know that it doesn't work? Like, what were they pretending to do?
Like I said, you prick a finger and they'll give you a result.
No. I mean, like, if I was Kissinger and I was investing in this company, what did I see behind the
saw
scenes?
Female Steve Jobs.
Who was doing the fake testing? Who in this whole machine knew? Like, you clearly weren't doing actual tests. So what were you doing?
Oh yeah, like so there were like I think some guy even committed suicide that worked for her.
Really?
But like a lot of the people at the low level they knew, but they weren't invited to the demos, right?
Yeah. But that eventually spread.
Yeah, there were a lot of people that knew, and then so they say it wasn't like Silicon Valley people. So people that actually knew tech and would actually investigate, they were like, no, we're not giving you any money. But she was in Silicon Valley, but she went over to the East Coast to like government people and got them all to invest because they're like, ooh, a female Steve Jobs. That's a fun story.
And that's where you goof, because then you got political people that are going to prosecute you.
Elizabeth Holmes.
Elizabeth Holmes, that's her name. I forgot her name.
Who's Elizabeth Holmes?
That's
the name of the lady?
The name of the company was Theranos. I forgot her name.
Oh, okay. That's what I was confused.
Yeah, I told Zach that. All about the drama. Is there anything else you want to Chloe, is there any topic you want to discuss? We should discuss.
Do you know she married a old Indian guy that looks really ugly
Yeah.
because he has money?
Well, that wasn't the guy she got pregnant with, though. She married another guy to get pregnant.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah. That was the other guy. So another guy was a Silicon Valley millionaire from like the early .com.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
She wasn't married. She was dating that guy.
true. For his money.
Yeah, definitely for his money. But he was in on it, I think. In on Theranos. I think he was part of
Yes.
it. He was managing. And that's where she got some of the money, was for this Indian guy that got rich in the .com era.
Really ugly.
Wow.
Really ugly guy. Let's look up really ugly
She basically did a Bernie Madoff with the tech
Theranos
industry.
Indian guy.
No, Elizabeth Holmes.
I don't know. Ramesh Balwani. That's his name.
Sunny, yeah.
Yeah, Sonny is his nickname. I do remember reading these stories. Let me see his...
Look at it.
Yeah, he's ugly. He's not super ugly.
He's pretty ugly.
I mean, she's
He's
not
pretty
great
ugly.
looking, but definitely she's out of his
Let me
league.
see what she looks like. Elizabeth
If they're not
Holmes.
for the
Well,
money.
yeah, but then again, guys have a crazy radar. So even though she's not bad looking, I feel like if I met her and I didn't know anything about her money, just talk to her for 5 minutes, my crazy radar would go beep, 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 beep. And I'd be like,
Yeah.
I doesn't. If you were even like 4 points hotter, no,
What do you think of the guy that date those kind of women?
they're dumb.
No.
They're dumb people.
He's so
Yeah, she-
too.
Yeah, he is.
She's like okay looking.
Because there's a lot of stories about, like, she even, I think, claims he was the one behind it all. And she was like,
Oh, she tried to
he was
flip it?
forcing him. Yeah, like, he was forcing her to do all this, was her claim. And all
Oh
this,
my
but
God.
it wasn't real. Like, she was definitely in on it. They had plenty of proof that she knew it.
I think they both are sociopaths. That's
Yeah.
why they are together.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
money.
probably very true.
That was
Mhm.
part of the deal. Get you the.
It's so wild though that I haven't really heard much about this. Like most of what I know about this is from you. I think it's such a tech industry
Yeah.
scam.
It's a huge story. It was a huge story. I don't know.
To be fair though, Theranos is
It's
a
so
stupid name.
interesting. I don't know why it's not a bigger story nationwide, because it's just so crazy.
Yeah, it's a pretty like I said, it's basically the Bernie Madoff story of the tech industry.
Yeah, it's somewhat hard for me to know what isn't more well known outside of my bubble. When
Yeah.
Mom was here, I mentioned Elon Musk to her, and she didn't know who that was.
She didn't know who Elon Musk is?
No.
That's actually really wild.
yeah,
Especially like Alan even owning a Tesla.
that's exactly how I explained it. You know, he's the guy that started Tesla, right? Like, sometimes I'm like, the generation gap and the, I don't know, the difference.
That's kind of a wild gap though. Like you have to be ignoring a lot of news to not know Elon Musk.
She had no idea who that was.
Like
And I
Dad
bet
had to
if you
know
ask a good
Elon
number of
Musk.
People her age, they will not know who the hell that is.
I guess you're right, man. Which is kind of wild.
Yeah.
Like that's a name I think would be so well known. Like he's up there with Bill Gates and like name status.
Yeah, you'd think so. But nope.
What's another person of that level of caliber that you don't think our parents would know? Like, right
She
off
didn't know
bat?
Bezos.
Are you serious?
She didn't know Bezos.
Holy crap!
And then Bill Gates, she didn't know off the top of her head, but when I mentioned him, she knew who he was.
Yeah. That is wild. I guess we followed like just tech stuff a lot and like
I feel like our generation always would, though, right?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we'll
Yeah.
always follow tech and tech people.
And they would always follow, like, the favorite bands of that era.
Yeah.
Definitely know what Donny
And-
Osmond's up to.
Yeah, you got me there. That's a good point. It's not like I will. It's not like I even like care that much about Jeff Bezos, but it's like hard to avoid that kind of news and the things I look at. You know, like Reddit. How are you not going to see Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates?
Hmm.
Like their names are just going to pop up all the time, right? Do you think Mom even knows Reddit?
No, I don't think she knows what that is.
What do you think in the future we will be so antiquated by? Like you said, mom and dad knowing Donnie Osmond and them.
I'm already kind of antiquated because I don't know what the other, like, I know what Facebook is. I don't use it, but I could use it. I know how it works. I know what it is. I've never even touched Snapchat. Took me years to touch TikTok.
Yeah, but even like my generation and people below me, like not all of them use Snapchat. It's not like ubiquitous. I think it is with some people.
Again, sometimes I just want to have a conversation with Ashley just to see what has changed between our generations.
Like what things?
Because like it wouldn't make sense with the other younger kids because like a lot of it's just because they're kids.
Yeah.
But once you're in high
school... But she's
school,
gotten to high school age, yeah.
It's kind of like that's a lot more of how you're going to be.
Yeah, and that's also you're starting to actually follow trends and things going on in the world.
Like I saw the other day, I think nowadays, about 15 to 20% of kids in high school identify as non-cis, whatever that is. You know, like they're either gay, queer, transgender, whatever it is.
Yeah.
15%. How many?
I would think it would be higher.
In high school, Zach? Any non-cis people?
A couple, I guess, in high school. Maybe one or two,
I knew.
Maybe that's in retrospect that I know now they are.
Yes, exactly. They never would have admitted, but then maybe one or two.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think also like it's so much more acceptable to be bisexual. I think more kids would try it anyways, and like being cisgendered is almost like a negative term for high schoolers. So you don't want to be a cisgender. Exactly. So even if you don't necessarily actually have that,
it's like now I'm special.
Yeah. There's always some term to make you special, I guess. You have to have some kind of special label for yourself.
I want my special label to be normal. I'm a normie.
I'm a norm. That's a cisgender, man. That's basically what cisgender is.
Man. So weird. See, that's what we're totally out of. Like, I've never been asked what my pronoun is.
Say weird shit when they say
Has anyone ever asked you?
Yeah, on Twitter, a lot of people have that.
But has anyone in real life ever asked you what your pronoun is?
No, not once.
What will you say if somebody
Not one goddamn time. I would say he, him. I wouldn't care. I'd be like, wow, that's weird. That's the first time I've been asked that, but it's he, him.
His Lord God, the Highness on high. What's wrong with that?
See, look. I clicked on the first name in my Twitter feed, and in their profile, it has one of the first things is she, her.
That's the thing that's only online. Like, I've never been in person with a real person that has, like, said, what are your pronouns? Or, my pronouns are...
You know what, Nick? It's almost because it's like you can just kind of predict it.
Yeah, you can look at it.
It's almost as if there's, like... Yeah. Oh, you know what? Second person I clicked on, they have she, her in their profile. So really, the first two people.
What are there other than she, her, him, he, and they, them? Are there other ones?
Zerzi.
I thought it would mean like you're a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard any crazy ones.
Let me Google.
Those are mostly the ones I've heard, though.
Other pronouns. Gender pronouns.
I told you the Zerzi is
78. Z self.
That's insane. It seems like those are the main ones: is he, him, they, them, she, her, and Z here.
Yeah, herself is the self, herself, higher self, herself, herself.
Herself.
Oh my
So
god.
eventually, we're gonna see. I don't know the they them. I kind of get a little bit because like
Yeah.
when you write rule books, like you always use they them.
I've
You
always
use
used
their
that
to
as
not like single out
a third person non-gendered term. I've
gender.
always used that. I think some people
Yeah,
think that's weird,
but
but
the
like
Z
I've always done that.
here is like
Oh, it's weird as shit.
that's the one that like shouts, "I want attention."
Mm-hmm. That shows I want attention.
Like, why do you need to stray away from they them?
Mm.
If you don't want he or she, why is they not work for you?
Mm. Mm. Oh, speaking of which, have you seen the current Jeopardy streak?
No, I heard something about it
Yeah.
though.
She is far and away now the number one most winning female champion of Jeopardy. She has a dick.
Wait, does she?
Oh,
Or she had a dick. I mean, I'm not looking under her dress. But at some point there was a dick there.
Oh my god.
And that is the
At what point do they start like mixing genders in like schools for sports? Like you have to have football teams with women and they just get annihilated.
Her girlfriend.
Well, do you have to have it with women? It would be with, but do you have to include women that are men now into the football team?
No, I mean eventually you. So like, man, how do you do it? Because you can't. If you already separate the genders in male and female, isn't that kind of
Oh yeah.
an attack on that there's two genders?
By the way, this Jeopardy woman
Mm-hmm.
who has a dick, probably. I assume she still has a dick. I assume most of them have a dick because she has a wife.
Okay.
And she's got somewhere to use her dick.
Okay. Well, what about her though?
She has a wife.
Oh, that was your thing. If she has a wife.
She
Okay.
has a wife.
Yeah. You know what? It doesn't really bother me that much for records that are like an intellect thing, but it does bother me when it's like a transgendered, like a male to female wins like a wrestling tournament or a weightlifting competition and broke all the records. It's like, well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Let's just say it's really a man. He won the records.
Yeah. Exactly. Like you can't really like ignore the fact that they grew up with testosterone that changes a body.
Yeah.
But you know what? Maybe we're dating ourselves.
Maybe. Or maybe this is a fad like Team Jacob and Team Edward. And I think in
It
another
could
10,
be.
15 years, everyone will look back on this time and be like that was bell bottoms. People were just being morons.
You know, I kind of believe it will be for the most part in 10 years. Like, people won't be like, I'm gender fluid, and what are your pronouns?
Yeah, they'll be older and they'll be like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, like, that was kind of dumb, huh?
We have
I
two
think it's
categories.
more on the trend
Born
line.
with a penis, born without a penis.
Yeah. Look, you can transition all you want, but don't then try to, like, do other things.
You can wear a dress. You're still a man. You still got a penis.
Yeah.
I was like, did you watch the South Park from a long time ago where Jews can't play basketball?
No.
No. Okay. So Kyle is Jewish,
I
right?
probably did, but I don't remember it.
Cartman's making fun of him for Jews can't play basketball. So he gets a lot of surgery to become taller and like be black. Right? And he starts playing basketball and his taller surgery, like it all breaks down and all this stuff. And obviously it doesn't actually make him a black dude, that black tall guy.
Yeah.
And then Cartman goes, Jews can't play basketball.
That's hilarious. Alright, well, you have anything else before we wrap it up?
Not really. That's it.
Well, the Jews can't play basketball, I guess is where.
According to South Park, I don't want people to think I'm saying
Nope.
that.
I got the clip of you. I'm gonna clip it. You know you're safe because I will be too lazy to listen to this to actually clip.
All right, I think that's good. Until next time.
All right, later.
All right, later.